7 Hello Melbourne $6 and 175. Daring John 85. Caledonian Boy 190. Quinella 1045. Trifecta 265 even. The running double 52.70. Daily double 142.65. Quadrilla 1,000 and $32.40. Form 1, most interesting race. Wait for the light. Ready, racing. Dave jumped out all right. Gilgood Arise a bit slow, and Be Reasonable and Tara Path both slow to begin. Leisure slowly away as well. Showing good speed in the early stages is Fredimus going up in a hurry, and Above Deck going fast as they settle down. It's right up there near the leaders, and just behind them is Laconian. Crushing's gone around those horses to lead them, and going up Abstraction to be second. Mighty Deer's about fourth as they settle. Bold Magic's back about seventh, and just behind him Cindy's Appeal. Leisure outside of him, 2 or 3 lengths away. Parmesan, then came Brave Hero. 2 or 3 Tara Path, Gilgood's Arise, Amboise, and Be Reasonable giving them a big start. 1,000 out, Crushing led a length, and second placing Abstraction. Mighty Deer third. Dave the Rail, then Above Deck a length to Fredimus, well placed. Laconian the inside from Leisure. Then came Bold Magic, Cindy's Appeal, Brave Hero. Parmesan the inside, further out Amboise about 4 wide making a run. Then Tara Path, Be Reasonable taking off, and Gilgood Arise 4 lengths away last. On the turn, 600 out. Crushing led about a half length. Dave behind it on the outside. Abstraction a length Above Deck. Mighty Deer giving a crack with the whip. Then Fredimus. Leisure's coming with a big run. Here's Cindy's Appeal, Amboise and Laconian. In the straight at the 400. Dave tackled by Abstraction and Above Deck, and Cindy's Appeal quickly grabbing them. 2 lengths away. Leisure further out. Amboise, Fredimus and Be Reasonable late. Cindy's Appeal's burst away from Above Deck at the distance. Running on reasonably well as Laconian, and Be Reasonable starting to fly. Cindy's Appeal nicely clear. Be Reasonable flying with Laconian, but Cindy's Appeal's got too big a break and a win the last. Laconian, Be Reasonable. Be Reasonable got second just in front of Laconian, and Fredimus fourth. Then Above Deck, Amboise, Dave, Mighty Deer. Behind those horses, Leisure. Further back, Parmesan, Bold Magic, one of the last. Abstraction with Gilgood Arise, Brave Hero, Crushing, and Tara Path last in the final event on the program. The time 140.9. And Robbie D. Griffiths for a double, Des.
We'll soon know. They're all in, ready for the last on the card. 1,500 the journey, and away they go. Kiwi Kong from a deep alley, and Camerallen the smartest to begin. Jack's given a crack with the whip early. Bottom line is handy, and so too is the favourite Ladrone. Not far back is King Solo, then Prince Watan, Sailor V, Persian, Port Pleasant Express, followed by Kalani's Pick, and then comes on the inner El Prince, third last Zamet, Nakoma second last, 2.5 lengths to Jabba Hut, 1,100 to go, and Camerallen leads the way a length on Kiwi Kong. Bottom line on the inside of Ladrone, getting a nice run off the track. King Solo a little over a length to Pleasant Express, and then comes Jack's wider out, closer in Kalani's Pick, 1 Nakoma, and then a break Prince Watan, Sailor V, 2 lengths to Zamet, Persian Port, 3 lengths to El Prince, and a half he's outside Jabba Hut. So on this pattern they run to the 700, and Camerallen makes play a half. Kiwi Kong a length and a half to Bottom Line on the inside of Ladrone, 2 lengths King Solo, then Pleasant Express the rails. Next is Jack's Kalani's Pick, and off the course is Nakoma, 2.5 Persian Port, Zamet, Sailor V, Jabba Hut, Prince Watan, forget El Prince on the bend, and the leader is Camerallen. Kiwi Kong second. On the outside, Ladrone third. Pop the question now from Bottom Line, Pleasant Express, and then comes Kalani's Pick at the 200 metres, and Camerallen, they've still got to catch him. Camerallen 2.5, Pleasant Express, Kiwi Kong, forget about Ladrone. Camerallen's rider Campo goes for the whip at the 100. He's 2 lengths clear. Here comes Kalani's Pick after him, but Camerallen still in front. Kalani's won't reach him, and then Pleasant Express, but Camerallen pretty well all the way. Camerallen beat Kalani's Pick and Pleasant Express, then Kiwi Kong, Nakoma, then King Solo. Further back in the field was Bottom Line, Persian Port. Ladrone didn't go on. From Zamet, El Prince, Jabba Hut, Jack, second last Sailor V, and Prince Watan last.
Over the line in Sydney for the last 9, 6 and 8. The expected should pay is $8.65 and $1.85 Camerallen, $2.05 for Kalani's Pick, and 85 cents for number 8 Pleasant Express. It should be 9, 6 and 8 on the last event in Sydney. Room dividend, Cindy's Appeal $6.55, $1.75, Be Reasonable $1.05, Laconian $95, $18.65 Quinella, $242.85 Trifecta, the double running double $75.45, and the quad extra. Be nice to have a little ticket on this. $85,072.05. Some lucky punter at home would have fallen off his chair by now. $85,072.05 for the quad extra. Well, there's been plenty happening both in news and sport today.
After that top-class filly, and here's Peter Smith.
South Australian Oaks, the Lelia Stakes over the 2,000, and away they go. Thelma Josephine bounced out nicely from the inside. Lady Liberty was gathering pace now with Voltage, also Wings on Her Heels. From out wide, Faithful Thought, and now Iolani Bay are both racing up towards the lead. Top Date was up there in the early stages. Voodoo Blues back in behind them from 'Tis the Season. Outside of it, Montmatic, Fire Twig a fair way back on Settling from Indian Feather. Then they are followed at the 1,600 by Camilla. 3 lengths Tilbon Miss and Palace Revolt last on Settling. Iolani Bay's taken over now and cleared out by a couple of lengths in second placing on the inside. Faithful Thought on its outside. Top Date. Lady Liberty nicely placed in about 4th placing on the outside of Thelma Josephine. A length further back then Voltage midfield, one off the rails, 2 lengths away then to Montmatic. Voodoo Blues back in behind them, and they're followed by Wings on Her Heels. A length further back to 'Tis the Season. Fire Twig next the outside. They're followed then by Camilla. It's kicking up in the centre and has Fire Twig 3 deep now. Indian Feather back on the inside from Tilbon Miss and Palace Revolt. Onto the side about 1,000 metres from home. Iolani Bay the leader by a couple of lengths in second placing. Top Date now on the rails. Faithful Thought nicely placed there in the centre with coming around at 3 wide now Lady Liberty. They are followed further back in the field then by Thelma Josephine. Voltage on the outside at the 800. A couple into Voodoo Blues, Montmatic. Still well out of it, Wings on Her Hill. So too Fire Twig a long way back. And they are followed by 'Tis the Season. Camilla, Tilbon Miss trying to improve from Palace Revolt. And last of all was Indian Feather past the 600 on the turn. Iolani Bay was the leader. Around the outside, Faithful Thought coming out at Thelma Josephine drives up behind them. They are followed by Top Date. Voltage wider out with Lady Liberty. Even deeper, Wings on Her Hills coming home, and so too Fire Twig. Tilbon Miss off the track. Closer to the rails in Camilla. Further back, Palace Revolt, Voodoo Blues. 200 out, and the leader, Faithful Thought. Voltage race to it on the outside. Lady Liberty on the outside with 'Tis the Season. Palace Revolt, and on the inside, Thelma Josephine. Thelma Josephine got the run. Race to the front from Palace Revolt, Voltage, and Thelma Josephine wins a length. Palace Revolt. Voltage has run third from Faithful Thought. Close up then 'Tis the Season, Lady Liberty. Next along Voodoo Blues from Montmatic, Camilla. They are followed in then by Wings on Her Hills.
Past the post, you'll find them 9, 7 and 10 with the should pays, 5.40, 1.25 Thelma Josephine, $4.30 for Palace Revolt, and $1.50 the place for number 10, and that was Voltage. It's 9, 7 and 10 past the post, and the last race in Adelaide.
54.65. You can see them there, 680 and 175, 160, 115. I've got 120 on my screen, but we'll believe 115. The Quinella, $61.90, and the trifecta, $754.65. Extra double in Adelaide, $101.70. First today, Kentucky Hurdle, the favourite was Chick Griffiths. Double for father and son combination. Eddie Lang trained Hello Melbourne, and Robbie Lang, Cindy's Appeal, winning the last at 9-1. That's it from Flemington. Don't forget Eyewitness News coming up at 6 o'clock tonight. All the sport there and all what's happened today in news. And we've got those swimming trials coming up in Sydney on Sunday week. Hope you can join me tonight with Sarah and Alistair, and also Stephen for the news at 6.